Hey everybody, today we're here to talk about how you as a self-employed individual or a self-employed partner in a relationship or couple can open a health savings account if your employed spouse doesn't have one or if you don't have an option for one elsewhere. So first, what is a health savings? We'll talk about what is a health savings account, why you should consider it, why it's one of the most powerful wealth building tools available, and when you should actually consider contributing to it if you have the surplus cash flow. So my name's Eric Amzalag. I'm the owner of Peak Financial Planning. I'm a certified financial planning professional in Woodland Hills, California. And we're going to just jump right into health savings accounts for self-employed individuals. So a health savings account is a tax advantage savings account that works similar to a flex savings account. Usually it's earmarked for medical expenses, and it gives you certain tax advantages if you contribute to it and then later disperse funds to pay for medical expenses. Now, why this video specifically? Because most self-employed individuals are not going to have access to a health savings account directly because they don't work for a company that offers them a pre-made, pre-filled option for a health savings account as a savings vehicle. But for those of you in a position where you have significant surplus cash flow and you're looking for good investment, investment buckets to place that extra cash, a health savings account can be an excellent vehicle. And again, we're going to be covering the different facets of a health savings account in this video. So to start, health savings accounts have 4 tax advantages. So compared to a traditional IRA or a 401k, and then compared also to a Roth IRA or a Roth 401k, which have 1 or 2 tax benefits, the health savings account has more additional tax benefits, and this was designed as an incentive for people like you and I to contribute, anticipating future medical expenses that can be costly. So the way it works is any contributions you make to a health savings account end up tax deductible. So what that means is if you have $100,000 of income and you contribute $3,850 for that year, it lowers your taxable income from $100,000 to $96,000 and change. Now, that doesn't seem super substantial at the top end, but the idea is this goes in before taxes and it lowers your taxable income. So it's treated like a traditional IRA or traditional 401k in that it saves you some tax money in the current year. And then in the future, that money will grow tax-free, and it doesn't the growth and profit on your investments that you can do within that account, and we'll talk about that in a second, grows tax-free. And then if you eventually distribute that money for a medical expense or reimburse yourself for a medical expense you paid out of pocket, you get that money out tax-free. So it's put in tax-free, it grows tax-free, and you can withdraw it tax-free if it's used for qualified medical expenses. And no other account has features of that nature. In the Roth account, you're taxed in the current year, and then you never pay tax again. And then in a regular traditional account like a 401k or IRA, you're not taxed in the present year, but you pay taxes when you eventually take distributions. And so the health savings account combines the best of both of those accounts. So what are the actual features of a health savings account? What is the eligibility requirements? And then how do you actually understand how to open one if you're self-employed and you don't have an option through your employer? And we'll even cover a little bit about what if you are employed and you want to know how do you get eligibility for your employer's plan. But let's talk through this really quickly. So to be eligible for a health savings account, you need to be enrolled in what's called a high deductible, high premium health plan. That's your medical insurance. And each year that threshold changes, and different health insurance plans are going to fall into and out of eligibility for this format. But right now for 2023, a high deductible, high premium health plan is one that has a minimum deductible of $1,500 for individuals or $3,000 for families. You can see that here. And the out-of-pocket maximum must also be factored in, which is it must be between $7,500 for individuals and $15,000 for families. That's the minimum threshold. So any plan that has those features or a higher level will be eligible as a high deductible plan, a high deductible, high premium plan. Okay, so once you understand that, now we can go and find out, well, how do you open one and what are the contribution limits? For a for a health savings account, the contribution limit in 2023 is $3,850 for individuals or $7,700 for couples. And you can fund this in a couple ways. You can fund it through payroll deductions the same way you would if you had a 401k or an IRA. You could set up automatic transfers. You can also do one-time funding in the full lump sum amount, let's say at the beginning of the year or at any point during the year. And then last but not least, you also have what you call catch-up funding, where if you did not contribute for the prior year, as long as you contribute up to before April 15th, before the tax deadline, you can contribute for the prior year and make up for a prior year. Now, again, this vehicle is very, very tax advantaged. It's highly lucrative because what you can do is you can open it up. You want to think of this account as a bucket. It's a bucket within which you place extra cash savings. And then within that bucket, you can do things. So different health savings accounts will have different features, but traditional health savings accounts offered through employers will allow you to, let's say, trade mutual funds or exchange traded funds, much the same way you would with the 401k. You can set up an allocation. You're going to have to do this on your own, and there are so open the health savings account. And at the very least, saving that money in as cash is still lucrative because of the tax advantages. But you can do better by opening what's called a health savings brokerage account that you tie to your health savings account. And that will allow you to actually invest the money that you contribute to your health savings account if you're a self-employed individual, so that the money can grow and hopefully beat the rate of inflation. And that's really your goal when investing. So how do you do that? There's a couple companies. The ones I recommend, and disclaimer, I don't get any form of referral or kickback for this. This is simply just something I'd recommend to clients if they were in this position as a part of their financial plan. There's two parties to the health savings account territory that you'd encounter as a self-employed individual who needs to set this up on your own. The first party is you'd need a company like Lively Health Savings Account, this one that I have on the screen here. You can open a health savings account through them simply by proving that you have a high deductible, high premium health insurance plan. If you don't know if your health insurance plan is high deductible, high premium, you'll want to start by finding that out, either going to your insurance broker or if you're through Covered California or something like that, going and reading your premium and deductible amounts and seeing if they match. And you can just reference this guide that Lively has on their website to just check if the amounts match. If they do, you can open the account and then you can submit the PDF of your insurance paperwork and they'll go ahead and open the account for you, and there you go. You have the bucket within which you can make those contributions. The second step, if you want to actually be able to invest the money in that bucket, is you can follow another guide that Lively has here to open what's called a Charles Schwab Health Savings Brokerage account. Very simple. It's a one-step process online. They have a guide on the website that helps facilitate that. And then once that's done, the health savings account and the Schwab brokerage account link. And now any contributions to the health savings account can now be moved over to this brokerage account where you can actually trade or invest in mutual funds, brokerage, ETFs, stocks, bonds, even money market funds and things like that. So this is a highly lucrative planning recommendation that I'd make to many clients who have substantial incomes and surplus cash flow that may want to diversify where they're saving their monies between, let's say, traditional retirement accounts, Roth accounts, taxable brokerage accounts, and other cash savings goals. One of the nice tricks with the health savings account is you can reimburse yourself for medical expenses you paid out of pocket for at any point into perpetuity. So let's say you have kids and you pay for their braces and you pay it out of pocket because it's it doesn't meet your deductible, or you don't have dental insurance, let's just say. Well, you can pay for that in the current year, and then as your money and your investments accumulate and accrue over time and build up in value, in future years you can pay yourself back and kind of extract that cash from the account for previous year's medical expenses. The benefit of doing this is the money grows tax deferred, and then you can withdraw it tax free for the reimbursement. And then what happens is this account can grow and become your long-term care insurance policy. You can self-insure yourself through the growth of this account for your eventual end-of-life long-term care needs. Since the long-term care insurance policies have kind of gone the way of the dodo, this is one way for self-employed individuals or even fully employed, through a W-2 system, to fund an account that rolls over year to year, accumulates and grows in value, and has extremely good tax advantage status to use for long-term care end-of-life needs. So that's a health savings account in a nutshell. I hope you found this helpful. If you'd like more guidance on how to set one up or whether you should consider one as a part of your cash saving strategy, you can reach out to me at peakfp.com. My website is www.the PEAK, as in Frank, P as in Paul.com, or you can find a link down below to a lot of other videos that I offer that help for both self-employed individuals and retirement planning. And if you have other suggestions for videos you'd like to see in the future, please leave them in the comments. Thank you for your time and attention, and see you soon.